Hello boys, welcome to this video. Today I have four things in the agenda of this video. First of all, we'll learn to create components and how to embed them. If we are not creating them in their default given locations, we need to embed them with their full path, or we need to use them their namespaces into our using portion. So the next thing we are going to look at is passing parameters to component from parent components. That from parent components, how can we pass the value to our child component? The third thing that we are going to learn over here is how can we pass the rendering content to child component, which is known as render fragment. We are going to learn about that here. And the fourth thing we are going to learn is the event callback, that how can we call the event of parent component from a child component. So let's head over to Visual Studio for this, and let's first start by creating a component. We have two places. The given folders in Blazor server application template are pages and shared. We have learned in our previous videos that we create a new components which behave like a page or have a routing URL inside pages. But if we create a component which does not have any routing URL, it is recommended that it should be created and shared. Even though we can create the component in page as well. For example, if I create, let me show you. I have this counter component. It was shipped with this default template, and if I want to embed, I have already explained in the previous video, I just need to write counter over here, and that's it. It will be included inside this index component. But what if I want to create a new component? Let's create it here. It's not recommended in creating pages component. Go to the new item, the Reusable component. I'm giving the name my component. Okay, there we go. Here is our new component, and now to embed this component, we also don't need to include any using namespace over here, which it's okay, it is already included. I will just need to write my component, and that's it. It will be included into my index page. Okay, the next thing that I want to explain you here is the important thing is, what if you are not going to create this component over here? I'm going to delete it. Okay, and also, okay, let's leave it there. I'm going to create a new folder with custom components and create a component inside this section. My component. Okay, here it is created, my component. And now what I'm going to do over here is I want to embed this custom component inside here, but it's not accessible. I have two options. Either I want to give the full name, for example, the namespace Blazor server app 2 dot custom component my component, like this way. And the same will go inside ending tag over here. Now, because I have not created this new custom component into my given locations, and why I am calling them given location, I will explain you all that right now. So that's why I have to provide the full path, including the namespace, including the parent namespace, the folder namespace, and the name of component into the my including component. So here, if I want to give the short name, I just need to use using Blazor app2 dot custom component. That's it. Now I can include this component over here in this way. That's okay, it will work. Let me show you the output. Now it will work. Now whichever page you want to use this custom component, you will need to define it either the complete path, or you can include it using the using statement, and then you can call it by just the name. Okay, here it goes, my component. Okay, the next thing I want to explain you here is, if you don't want to include this using on every page where you want to include this component, you need to specify it inside your imports.razor here. For example, this is the place imports.razor where you can specify all your custom folders namespaces. For example, I want to specify this namespace, that using should go here. Okay, using Blazor server app 2 dot custom components folder. Now I don't need to include this line over here, it is included into my locations. Okay, it will work now. That line has removed, you will notice. Okay, that's it. So this was the first task of this video, that we need to include our components that are not created inside the defined location. But now this folder is also from my defined locations that I have defined inside imports.razor. Okay, the next thing is to pass on the parameters to this component, and that's really very simple. For example, I need to specify a public property decorated with parameter attribute parameter. Okay, I'm defining a public property. The shortcut for that is write prop, pressing the tab button twice. Now it will give me a string and my heading, and that's it, it's created. Okay, I can pass on this parameter from the parent, and my parent is index over here. What should be the heading? Custom heading. Okay, I want to display this heading over here at the rate my heading. Okay, now the provided value of my heading will be displayed into the header of this child component. Custom heading. Okay, let's correct the spelling from there. Custom heading. Okay, the third thing is the render fragment. What should go inside the body? Not only we can provide the parameters from here, we can also provide the rendering content for the child component. For example, if I want that here should go something that is passed from the parent, I can specify a parameter with the same public property prop, pressing the tab twice, but the type of this property will be render fragment. We use the type render fragment to specify the child content. Here I will specify child content. Okay, that's it. Child content, and there I will type child content. That's it. This is predefined inside my child content, and this will be given from the parent. But how will it be given? From the body. Here goes the body of child component. Let's examine our working. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share the video. That's the only thing that I require from your side. So here is my heading that's coming through a parameter. This is the predefined content into the child component, and this is the rendered fragment that I have provided from parent component. Okay, so the last thing that I want to explain you is the event callback. What is event callback? Through event callback, we call parents event from a child component, but we need to define that first. For example, let me copy the code from here. I don't need to write so many things once again. Okay, there we go. Here it is. I will put all this code, the same code, inside the description of this video, so don't worry. Okay, there we go. On here I'm writing one more parameter which is also public property but with type event callback, and it's taking mouse event args, the type of this event callback, and on click callback is the property that I have defined. So what I'm going to do is, it is important to understand, I need to define a method inside parent, not in the child. Now I need to write a code block over here, and I will write a function which may be private or void my function. Okay, and I'm defining a string str over here, and I will write @str, okay, before the hello world, and here I will put a simple value. Child button is collect. Okay, but from here I need to specify that on click callback, what should happen on the click of child's button, this function should be called. When the button of child component is clicked, this function should be called. We are specifying the name of function from parent, and the function is also defined in the parent, but over here inside the child component I need to specify a button. Let me copy the same once again. The button, okay, button on click callback. This is the same name, the name of property, that when this button in child component will be clicked, it will call this property, and this property is binded in from the parent here to my function, which is placed inside the parent component. So here that's it. Let's examine our working by hitting the execute button. What I have made the mistake expected, where I'm missing a terminator, I think inside here. Okay, okay guys, we have learned 4 things. Where should we create our parameter or components, the child components, and how should we call them. Number 2, how can we pass the parameters. Number 3, we learned about render fragment, and number 4, we learned about calling the child parents event from a child event trigger. Okay, here when I'm clicking this button, let me come once again to this page. Okay, when I'll click, you will notice a line will be appeared over here that child button is clicked, which is defined inside the parent here. Okay, so this was the agenda for our today's video. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to